So going back to that question again, we had p hat is 124 over 200, which is 0.62. It's the survey of 200 students. 124 said yes, orientation prepared them. So now getting past that sample estimate or that point estimate of p hat, construct a 95% confidence interval for the percent of all satisfied students. So your information will be 95% confident. You always need your confidence level. That's always first. What is the sample size? And what is the sample proportion? And in fact, instead of the sample proportion, what you're always looking for is this number on the top of the sample proportion, because that's what you're going to put into StatCrunch, is that 124.
I think that's how the problem was in 9.1, the very first question.
Okay. Oh, wrong button. So here's what StatCrunch looks like. Now you're going to do stat and proportion stats. And I have a little star. I forgot I had that. Stat, proportion stats, one sample, and with summary. And then we have number of successes and number of observations. So the number of observations, this is our sample size n. When it says number of observations, it's sample size. The number of successes in the last problem are the people who said yes. It's that x on the top of the fraction, p hat equals x over n. So x is successes and n is observations, spelling. Okay. And then you have to change it to a confidence level just like you did with the mean. So instead of knowing p hat, you need to know the top of the fraction and the bottom of the fraction for p hat. And we'll get the lower limit and the upper limit just like before. They'll tell you it's a proportion p, it's 95%, what the x is, what the n is, so the count over the total, and then they actually find you p hat and the lower limit and the upper limit. So we're 95% confident that the population proportion who were satisfied is between 0.553 and 0.687. Okay. So we'll try another one. A poll asked 1,000 Americans, do you dread Valentine's Day? A survey of 1,000 adult Americans reported that 18% answered yes. So they want us to construct a 99% confidence interval for the percentage of all Americans who dread Valentine's Day. So we have 1,000 adult Americans. So that's your N is 1,000. 18% is your p hat. And then they want a 99% confidence interval. So if we go into StatCrunch, these are our numbers, 99%, 1,000, and 0.18. Now, when we go into StatCrunch, we have to know what number to put in the top. We can't put 18% there because it's not the X. So let's remember that if we know we have 18%, this number is 18% of 1,000. Okay, it's your p hat times your sample size, n, will tell you how many successes you had. So 18% of 1,000 would be 180 successes out of 1,000 successes. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And then we'll put that in, and the 99%, and we get our lower and our upper limit. So we're 99% confident that the percentage of American adults who dread Valentine's Day is between 0.149 and 0.211. So 14.9 to 21.1%. Any questions?